When you think of master artists, you probably think of the likes of Picasso, Van Gogh, and Da Vinci, with good reason. When it comes to breaking tradition though, and causing a stir in the art world, one artist especially comes to mind: the great John Everett Millais, one of the most criticized painters of all time. Hi and welcome to Whoa History. In today's video, I'll tell you about John Everett Millais' life, and how his works were heavily criticized. Sir John Everett Millais, who was born on the 8th of June 1829, was an English painter and illustrator who helped start the pre-raphaelite brotherhood. He was a genius child, and at age 11, he was the youngest person to ever attend the Royal Academy schools. The most important person in his early life was how forceful his mother was. She liked art and music a lot, and she supported her son's artistic interests by pushing for the family to move to London so he could make connections at the Royal Academy of Art. He later said, "I owe my mother everything." Because of how good he was at art, he was able to get into the Royal Academy schools at the age of 11, which had never been done before. While he was there, he met William Holman Hunt and Dante Gabriel Rossetti, with whom he started the Pre-Raphaelite Brotherhood in September 1847 in his family home on Gower Street, near Bedford Square. Many people think that the Pre-Raphaelite Brotherhood was the first avant-garde movement in British art. Millais often looked to nature for ideas and was first known for his attention to pictorial realism, which was unheard of at the time. He went on to have a career that brought him fame both in his own country and around the world, though that fame came much later in his life. He became interested in political works, but he only painted portraits and Scottish landscapes in his later years. Millais is also known for being the first Academy artist to add newspaper illustrations and reproduction prints to his work. In 1896, he was chosen as the president of the Royal Academy, which was the pinnacle of his brilliant career. As a member of the Pre-Raphaelite Brotherhood, Millais' work was the first real challenge to the Academy's predictable art and its preference for early Italian Renaissance and classical art. His paintings showed that he was a religious young man who paid close attention to detail, almost to the point of fetishism. His early works were especially daring in the way that they showed holy people as normal people in normal places in nature. Millais would move away from his strict adherence to realism by painting pictures of women in nature in a more decorative style. People thought a lot about beauty, youth, and how time goes by when they looked at these paintings. Even though not everyone liked them, they were important transitional works that helped Millais' influence start to grow by having a direct effect on the aesthetic movement. In 1839, Millais went to Scotland to paint some of his most important landscapes for his later works. The artist didn't pay as much attention to detail in these pieces as he did in the past. Instead, he focused on using his palette to portray landscapes in almost a boring manner. Millais' landscape paintings were different from those of other artists because they lacked a wide range of emotions, choosing instead to portray landscapes in quiet melancholy. Millais also became a very good portrait painter, which he did in addition to painting landscapes. On the one hand, his unfussy portraits of adults gave his subjects, many of whom were high-ranking government officials, a power and modesty that made people think of Rembrandt and Velázquez. On the other hand, he made several very good and touching portraits of young children. With these portraits, the artist broke new ground in terms of how fine art and mass reproduction could work together. Millais became the most well-known artist in this style, despite all the criticism he received for his works. His tendency to portray holy biblical figures as normal everyday people earned him many verbal stripes. For example, his painting Christ in the house of his parents caused a lot of controversy because it showed the Holy Family working in a messy carpentry shop like they really did. Even the famous novelist Charles Dickens criticized Millais' work. Dickens found Millais' painting, Christ in the house of his parents, to be blasphemous due to its lack of idealization and seeming irreverence in the use of the mundane. Even though it happened less, most of his later works were deemed controversial by the artistic community. Though John Everett Millais was often rebuked and shunned for his daring works, he cleared the way for future artists to break tradition and to be able to use more freedom of expression while painting. Though his constant championing of antique ideas, the path of modern art was changed forever. This concludes today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. Click the thumbs up button if you enjoyed this video. Do you think Millais was wrong to have painted the Holy Family in a messy shop? Do you think the criticism was justified? Let me know in the comments box below. Click on the subscribe button to get more videos like this, and hit the bell icon so you don't miss future videos. Thanks for watching Whoa History. See you next time!